It's insane, man. It doesn't matter what you do. As soon as you do one little thing that the woke weirdos don't like, they will try to destroy you, which is exactly what is happening right now to George R.R. Martin, the author of Game of Thrones, who is facing massive amount of backlash right now. But when you see his response to all of the backlash, it is absolutely epic. So we're going to get into this whole story here and see what is going on. Game of Thrones fans boycott George R.R. Martin's next book, accusing co-authors of, yes, you heard it here, racism. Of course they do, because that is just apparently what we're just going to accuse everyone of these days. It's just, you know, one thing after another. It's just absolutely nuts. Okay, so, by the way, we should put quotations around fans, because these are definitely not fans. These are woke weirdos that have hijacked yet another thing that is going the way that they don't like. So, best-selling fantasy author and House of the Dragon executive producer George R.R. Martin is caught in the crossfire of the heated battle over inclusive casting, and some of his fans are calling for a boycott of his upcoming book due to comments by its co-authors. Out October 25th, The Rise of the Dragon, an illustrated history of the Targaryen dynasty, Volume 1, is being touted as a deluxe reference book for those itching to learn more about Westeros' most powerful family. When Martin publicized it on social media last week, thousands of fans responded in outrage, many calling out the problematic behavior and history of racism of his co-authors, married couple Linda Antonsen and Elio M. Garcia Jr. "I will not be buying anything with Linda and Elio attached to it," one wrote, while others urged Martin to sever ties with the pair. Now the co-authors are fighting back, with Antonsen insisting to Variety that she is not a racist. So they're being caught in the crossfire of a bunch of woke weirdos, basically is what is happening here. The superfans have been collaborating with Martin since before HBO's hit adaptation of his Song of Ice and Fire books. Soon after Antonsen and Garcia created online forum Westeros.org in 1999, Martin recruited them as fact-checkers for his book A Feast for Crows. In 2014, they served as co-authors on The World of Ice and Fire, an illustrated companion book for the series of novels. Critics have taken issue with Antonsen's blog post, some dating to more than a decade ago, in which she decries the casting of people of color in Game of Thrones to play characters that are white in Martin's books. In one post from March 2012, for example, Antonsen complained about Nonzo Anazi, a black man, getting cast in the role of Zaro Zone Daxos, who is described as pale in the books. 5 months later, she celebrated the fact that white actor Ed Skrein was cast to play Dario Naharis, despite a rumor claiming the network was looking to fill the role with someone of another ethnicity. So basically what is happening is that these are people who love the lore, love the history, everything else about Westeros, and they want to see that honored in the adaptations that are being brought to screen. That's all it boils down to at the end of the day, which is exactly the same things that I've been saying and other people have been saying for a very long time on YouTube. They fall in the same category as we do. But George R.R. Martin has some very choice things to say about this whole controversy that is surrounding bringing these people on as part of his team. More recently, Antonsen wrote that the character of Corlys, portrayed by Steve Toussaint in House of the Dragon, was miscast. There are no black Valyrians, and there should not be any in the show, she said of the common ancestors of Valyrians and Targaryens. Antonsen contends that upset fans are criticizing cherry-picked statements stripped of context, which, you know, that's just like every day for me, so it's I totally understand where she's coming from. She tells Variety that it bothers her to be labeled a racist when my focus has been solely on the world building. Exactly. Once again, this is someone that loves the world of Westeros and wants to see that honored in the show. Now, to be honest, I don't really have a problem with the casting of the character in the show or anything, because the show is still good. And that is something that you can't really say for a lot of these things that continues to put identity politics first and foremost as the priority. This is a rare exception with House of the Dragon, to be honest. And right here, Anderson goes on to talk about other things that she saw that was happening in the show that she had problems with as well. So it's not like this is the only issue. As for Martin, who declined to speak with Variety for this story, Anderson says he is very much aware of the arguments she and Garcia have had online with fans. She adds that while Martin doesn't see the point in engaging with people, which is a wise advice, on social media, he has not suggested we should stop sharing our opinions. So this is something else that I thought was really cool, is that George R. R. Martin is like, yes, there are things that we're doing differently for the show, but, you know, as people who love the lore, keep speaking your opinions. That is very cool of him to say that. Finally, Anderson supports boycotting authors she doesn't agree with. Okay, she just wishes fans were doing it because of our actual opinions rather than those they project on us. So there's a lot of craziness around this whole story, but I have to say that I have to give it to George R. R. Martin. His response to all of this is pretty great, so I will give him that. So with all of that being said, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.